This is Chuck Rapp with Multiply, a podcast to provide a word of encouragement for village church planters and leaders. Our topic for 2026 is leadership development. Over the past 2 months, I've shared 10 characteristics that I look for in potential emerging leaders. Today, I want to summarize those traits. But before I do that, I want to reiterate that very few emerging leaders will demonstrate all 10 of these characteristics. I also acknowledge that this list is not all-inclusive or absolute. These are simply my thoughts. Here's that list. An identity firmly rooted in Christ. I placed highest priority on this attribute as over the years I've observed the damage that can be done by insecure leaders. Too often they have mixed motives in their leadership as they try to build themselves up in others' opinions of them, as opposed to seeking and serving Jesus Christ and His kingdom. They are self-serving rather than kingdom-minded. Humility is closely related to this trait, as secure leaders are not driven to promote themselves in the eyes of others. Proverbs 27 verse 2 says this very well. Let someone else praise you, and not your own mouth, an outsider, and not your own lips. I look at their history or track record. You may recall that in last year's series on steward leadership, I shared from the parable of the faithful servant to whom Jesus said, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little, I will set you over much." That's Matthew 25, verse 21. I look at areas of aptitude or competency. As we identify and develop new leaders, it's important to evaluate their areas of competency and give them opportunities to lead in assignments that utilize those strengths. And then there's initiative. Last month I defined this as the ability to assess and initiate things independently. Emerging leaders do not sit around waiting to be told what to do. They exercise good judgment and take action. Strong desire to learn and grow. Potential new leaders are not satisfied with their current level of spiritual maturity, their understanding, or skills. A teachable spirit. In order to learn and grow, emerging leaders must be humble and willing to learn from others. They are also pleasant to be around. I include this trait because unpleasant people are unlikely to attract followers, and one cannot be a leader if no one's following him or her. I look at their reputation both inside the church and with outsiders. If someone has a poor reputation with those who know them well, that's a strong warning flag for me. And finally, a strong Christ-centered marriage. About 40 years ago, I heard a preacher offer this advice. If it's not working at home, don't export it. In other words, if one's marriage is not solid, our priority must be to first repair our relationships at home before attempting to lead others. This has been a word of encouragement for village church planters and leaders.